Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Wow. Wow, that sounds crazy. That sounds real crazy. But doing it in Atlanta was a very smart strategic move. Because one thing about Atlanta, I lived in Atlanta for a good 4 to 5 years. And I know one thing when it comes to us, anything that's popping in the city, they coming out. They coming out. The city is coming out. So the city will be coming out. It's going to be packed. A packed house in Atlanta to come out. And, of course, support Gervonta. Because like I say, Jake ain't never in his life going to see a stadium so filled with black people in his life. You know what I mean? They coming out. They coming out. It's going to be crazy, right? I see a lot of people in the comments, of course, they're upset about it because we're true boxing fans. But listen, as of right now, the state of boxing, it's all about entertainment. It's all about entertainment. This is going to be one of them. People don't understand, man, how this boxing game goes, right? I'm not surprised that he made a fight like that happen because he doesn't care what you think anymore. Gervonta does not care what y'all think anymore. The way he felt after that Roach fight, how he felt like everybody turned on him. He was already talking about retiring. He hate this fight game now. This man just going to get the bag. He don't care what you think. He's going to go in there and get the bag. And I know Al Heyman. I already know Al said, you know what? Forget what they talking about. I'm going to send you to the bank. I'm going to send you to the bank and make sure you get paid. And whatever you want to do after that, that's your business. But let's go get this money. Y'all need to understand the psychology of what's going on here. He's not caring about what you think about this fight. He's going to get the bag.
Are we gonna see you on that Netflix card?
That's a great question. Don't know yet. Don't know, but I'm just excited that the card's actually happening. I know some of y'all is mad. As a true boxing fan, I know some of y'all are just like, what the hell is this? But y'all gotta understand, as a fighter, for someone who's been doing it their whole life, boxing is a combat sport, y'all. People get hit in the face and in the head. They gotta take care of their families. It's prize fighting. And I know people want to see the rematch or whatever, but it's about that money on, okay? They gotta get the money on.
I thought it was clickbait. I did
You
not
thought
know
it
it
was
was going to be a
clickbait?
real fight.
And that's okay. Anything can happen in boxing, y'all. Y'all know that. Boxing is just one of them things. You just never know.
Yeah, Alicia, I was working fight week at Madison Square Garden. Fight night, you're right. It was an amazing night for all the ladies and great work from all of you. So who you picking? Jake or Tank?
What is it? Expedition. So don't ask them type of questions. I think it's gonna be great. Listen, at the end of the day, y'all, for someone who's been boxing as long as I have, as long as we have eyes on the sport, that's what's important to me. I mean, boxing's not the same as it was years ago, obviously, but we're in a different space now when it comes to boxing. When we're talking about entertainment, when we're talking about social media, when we're talking about the influence that people carry, and that's just got to be respected.
And it's like also like I think like I get it. Like I honestly get it. Like the main event is whatever you want to say, right? Because it's Jake at heavyweight versus Tank, who is a phenomenal boxer. That's not in that weight class. We get that, right? But I think people are overlooking the fact that it's gonna be on Netflix, and the only Jake has shown the only fighters that he puts on his card are actual legitimate fighters that are really good fucking fighters. Like you think about the Tyson versus Jake card. Do you even remember Mike Tyson versus Jake? No. You talk about Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. You talk about the undercard fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to take with the good with the bad, in my
Okay, Crystal,
opinion.
you talking that real because that's exactly what it is. Because when they talk about the Mike Tyson and the Jake Paul fight, they can't mention that fight without mentioning Katie Taylor and Amanda, and that is respect on Jake Paul's part for putting fighters, women, on the undercard. That's amazing, bro. Like, come on now.
I think one thing that we're missing too, like really great for Atlanta. I mean, I think it's going to be a party that week, that weekend. It's going to be a fun event.
It's gonna be fun. Listen, Atlanta's lit. I fought there last year in September, and just the small space that I was in, it was dope. So I think the city needs that, and Atlanta definitely gonna turn up for sure. I'm just adding
You
people.
think it's going to end in a stoppage?
Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. One thing about it, I feel like Tank is an experienced fighter, and experience is everything. So say that.
And Tank has power. Like, Jake is a heavyweight, and I get it. There's weight classes, but Tank has fucking power. So, like, the
Super grown man
idea that
power.
Jake could get stopped is not crazy.
Listen,
How
y'all.
many rounds is it?
If you, we don't even know. It's an expedition. That's what I do know. But I do know though, in boxing, when you're fighting, timing is everything. You don't gotta have the most power, but if you have timing, baby, we know what that's about. Okay, that has to be respected. I should do this more
Tank gonna
often,
come
y'all.
out this
Talk
fight
to
with
the
something to
folks.
prove.
You said what?
Tank gonna come out into this fight with something to prove.
Yeah. I mean, I think again, he's still going to prepare just like any other fight. Same thing with Jake. Y'all got to understand, like, there's still no headgear. It's still small gloves. It's still possible someone can get hurt. It's not a I mean, I would think there'd be no headgear.
I also think this is a chance for Jake to actually prove that he belong with a lot of the fighters, because people view him still as like this little internet prize fighter type dude. But if he could survive Tank, he might actually really, really be a legit contender.
Mm, Yeah, you listen, like I said, boxing, anything can happen in boxing. Anybody can make something. And that's the thing. Boxing, you got to take, when your moment comes, you got to take advantage of that. And boxing's not fair, bro. It's not fair at all. But when you have the opportunity to take advantage of it, take full advantage. And sometimes fighters lack in that space when they do have the advantage. So just something to note.
posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
is there a height limit in boxing?
What was that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just corny. Like, Gervonta basically was online saying that Devin dresses like him and shit, and it's like all people wear the same diamonds, the same jewelry, the same watches, the same cars, and it's guys like Gervonta with God complex that think they invented fashion or they invented jewelry. So it was just funny to see, and yeah, Devin's my boy, so gotta clown some of his opponents. Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
Gervonta, congrats on a good fight. You know, you originally were gonna call somebody out, you said, after the fight, but you know, since the draw happened, it looks like Lamont Roach rematch is what's on the horizon. But who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
Now, Jake, one of the biggest names, obviously, is Gervonta Tank Davis. 13 sellouts in a row, 3 division champions. You and him were very close to fighting. Will we see that in November?
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are going to win, and it's going to be the biggest event of the year.
What weight would you fight him at?
We're working on it, but it'd be an exhibition most likely.
Go ahead.